Welcome back to Inside Sources. Today, I have with me a leading Nigerian retired general, a pro-democracy general who is also a very leading major voice in transparency issues and anti-corruption. I would like to welcome back to Inside Sources General Ishola Williams. General, you're welcome back to Inside Sources.
I salute.
Okay, I catch up. Quite a few things to catch up on with you. And I wanted us to start with the fact that the president has just marked 2 years, in office. How do you assess what he has been able to do and what he hasn't been able to do in the last 2 years? What's your assessment?
See, we have two challenges in, as far as I can say, amongst many. But the two key ones are this, is that we have not got political parties in Nigeria. We have got a group of moneybags who keep shifting from one group to the other.
Okay.
Because money dominates politics in Nigeria, not integrity, not honesty, and so on. The second thing is this, is that politicians do not seem to understand, or in any part of the world, that people are more concerned about their economic situation than politics. But unfortunately for the people, only very few people understand that. And they believe that voting somebody in can improve their economic situation. But you then vote in that person is more interested in political survival than the economic situation of the people. And that's why any country you go to in the world, you talk to people, they are not concerned about the politics. If anybody can improve the economic situation, that's what they are concerned about. They continue to vote that person in. Unfortunately, where they practice politics, that works. In Nigeria, we practice politics.
Politics. That's different from politics.
It's different totally different from politics, because we have tricksters in politics.
Tricksters.
Tricksters, not politicians at all. Because where are the men of principle, integrity, and dignity in politics in Nigeria? Where are the men and women? Just name one for me. And if you have that, we will not find any one of them that we voted for. But those are the challenges we have. So when people talk about president or something like that, it is impossible for us to get the right leadership with integrity, honesty, and everything in politics, except you want somebody like Buhari, who is never aware of anything, and you have that experience. So even if he has a bright vice president, it's nothing, because the kitchen cabinet, who knows the sort of person that is, you just go to him and say, don't mind those people. They're not telling you the right person. And we believe that. So those are the two challenges that we face. And except we deal with that, we will continue to retrogress, not progress. In addition to those two key areas, is this. The present regime, over the past 10 years, because of these politics that I'm talking about, is undermining federalism. If you create a zonal development commission, what is the job of the governors? Because we believe that Niger Delta, where we get oil from, that is the source of our financial sustenance in Nigeria. So they said the best thing is that to create Niger Development Commission, Niger Delta Development Commission, which questions the functions of the state of those people. And it was clear that those people were stealing money. The governors were stealing money. Instead of getting the governors to do what is right, you created a commission. And what happened to the commission too? Corruption. Nearly killed it. Okay. Till today, nobody has come up with the report of the inquiry. Now, we decided to copy that bad mistake and credit in all the zones.
Recently, just to interject, a serving minister of the Tinubu administration said publicly.
Please allow me to continue on one thing.
Okay.
Before that time, they have River Basin Authority.
Yes.
Every river basin in Nigeria has an authority. They're still existing. Do you hear about them at all? And they get budget every year. What do they do? So you have River Basin Authority on one hand, you have Development Commission on the other hand. So what are they doing? What are they doing? Okay. You are just duplicating and then pouring money into those places. In other words, to satisfy political followership.
Okay. All right. So I wanted to take you on the issue of corruption in the regional agencies such as the NDDC. Minister Nyesom Wike said recently that a former minister during the Buhari administration was having his wife take a bit of money annually. I don't know whether you heard that from NDDC. Describing a shadow of corruption, and he asked the president to release the forensic audit that indicated that the minister's wife was actually collecting 4 billion naira allegedly every month. Do you think, what do you think about that, General, first of all?
No, that is normal.
What do you mean it's normal?
No, you know why it's normal? People don't care as long as they trickle down. If you can share Gary, so they don't care. Because if people care and they read that sort of stuff, they go on the streets like the Kenyans are doing right now. And EFCC will just investigate immediately.
No, in this case, the minister is saying that there is a report. He said there's a forensic report.
Because if somebody,
and that report should be released.
Now, it's very simple. Wike said it not so.
Yes.
That Ameti's wife was collecting 4 billion naira every month.
Yes.
No problem. You now call Wike as FCC and say, Mr. Minister, you said this. Prove it now.
Well, okay.
Yeah, prove it. If you cannot prove it, you should go to jail.
But Wike is saying that there is a forensic audit. So you are saying that Wike should, since he's the one that made the allegation public, he should come out with it.
And then, who was the person paying that 4 billion? Ameti's wife did not go to the treasury, knock on the door, and say, give me 4 billion. No. And it was Ameti himself that, you know that my wife is a very big contractor.
Yeah.
And we cannot confirm that. It is true, but it's a crooked contractor. So, you see, so the EFCC or ICPC, if the money is coming from the government, ICPC will call the woman and said, call Wike, you made allegation, serious allegation, 4 billion naira a month against somebody. We need you to prove it. If the money was coming from Wike as a governor, or a governor, that governor will also be questioned.
No, he said the money was coming from NDDC, that's the Niger Delta Development Commission.
Good. That's why I'm saying that nobody has brought out the Board of Inquiry's report into NDDC.
Yeah, and that's why Wike is saying that the president, Wike was basically challenging the president, urging him, pleading with him to release that report.
And then the person who was involved at that time who set up the Board of Inquiry is not the Senate president. Nigerians are tolerating a situation that is becoming pandemic, corruption. Corruption has become, it's not endemic anymore, it's pandemic now, the issue of corruption. And it's not easy to do anything with any government agency without throwing water in front, like they say in Yoruba, in order for you to step cool.
To water ahead.
Yes. So that,
okay. So let's come back to, you are making a point about, federalism, and we had a discussion and you said that what is happening under this current
what?
and the defederalizing.
Defederalizing, yes.
You know, so what do you mean by that? That this administration is defederalizing Nigeria?
The National Assembly and the presidency are guilty of that. Why? Number one, how can you sell INEC to go and conduct election at local government level? How?
Because they said that the state electoral commissions are basically in the pockets of the governors.
See, it's like the case calling the pot black. When you really read the elections, there have been cases which is interesting. Like the case of this Edo State. INEC said they don't want to give any evidence. Okay, which means that they knew something was wrong. The one of the case of the president, in which they accused of rigging and things like that, and actually have evidence of that. Now, you now want them in the federal system. That's what you call subsidiarity. Whether the system, whether they can do it or not, it's not your business. Because what stops a local government from conducting the election? It is their own people now. It is the community that's electing their own leader. So if they elected their own leader, bad leader, it's their business. Now, what you want to do is to make sure that you are controlling the election of communities from the center with INEC. First of all, the cost. Every election we do in Nigeria, the cost increases exponentially, including security cost. Policemen want to be there, soldiers want to be there, FRSC want to be there, everybody wants to be there. They say security. Is it a war? Okay, then you want to do that at the local government. Secondly, too, in every federal system in the world, the state conducts their own election for their own governor, not from the center. And like they do in many federal states, it is wasteful for a federal election system to be conducting election at state and local government level, even for the presidential. Even for the presidential.
That's true in the
because
US, actually.
Because that's what called federalism, that's what called subsidiarity. So that's number one. Number two now, Supreme Court woke up one morning and just decided that the state should no longer, in a way, be in fiscal control
of the local government. Because there are allegations that the governors are pocketing the money.
Good. Change the constitution, punish the governor. But we really foresee that because many of the people who are in the National Assembly were governors before too. And they were guilty of that. So, but what people do not understand is the political side of it. If I sit there in Abuja, I can determine who the local government chair is. Whether the man is staying in that local government or not, I can determine. I just use money. And we decide to back up the man to win local government. So the man does not respect the community. The community did not put him there. And we now say that people don't vote in Nigeria. Therefore, what is happening is increasing the level of corruption in election. Because you have to rig. Let the community rig their own election by electing their own people, local government and councillors. Let the state elect their own governor, not the business of INEC. And in other federal system, what they do is that INEC helps the state and local government with voters lists.
Yeah.
Okay? And that's all. Whatever they do, it's their business and their own governor. And in fact, today, if you want to be a governor, just come to the federal level and let the federal political party decide. Therefore, you cannot form a state party in Nigeria. You cannot form a state party in Nigeria. You don't win. The federal party you're going to, or the so-called party, which we haven't got, you're going to CPR. Whereas in other federal system, You can form a political party in your state, for example, and just say, I'm only interested in your state. I'm not interested in other federal election. I'm interested in your state governorship and local government. Why can't we do that? So don't tell me about this. If people are accusing people of corruption, you are of the same devil. It's a pot calling the pot black.
Is the pot calling the kettle black. Okay, let's move on to the 2027, let's move on to the 2027 elections.
Yes.
2027. There's a new coalition, around the ADC, African Democratic Congress, where you have all the opposition politicians from Atiku Abubakar to Peter Obi to Ishola to El Rufai, and all of them coming together to form some kind of coalition against the incumbent president. What's your take on that, General?
Again, that is normal. There must be an opposition. Whether the opposition is one party or a coalition, it doesn't matter. What is the meaning of APC? It's an alliance.
Yeah, All Progressive Congress.
Alliance of political crooks.
That's what you always call them. General.
Okay.
ADC.
Yes. ADA is an alliance of desperate actors. Okay. And if they use the APT is an alliance of desperate politicians. So whether they use A or P, they are desperate. Okay. But the mistake is this, is that, and that is what, again, our system creates, in which the focus is on one man, the president. Why is it that you are very much interested in removing Bola Tinubu? Bola Tinubu is only one human being. So, we should concentrate on the National Assembly and have a majority in National Assembly. What's happening in National Assembly now is that everybody is going towards the alliance of political crooks. And even before then, where in the world you see a Senate president dancing before the president? Have you seen anywhere in the world like that? Like a jester before a king. That was what Akpabio displayed. He's a jester. He's not a serious guy. Dancing before the president in the National Assembly, not outside. It's not a party. He's in the chambers. I want to take that sort of person serious. Okay, so it's normal for you to have opposition, but the point is this, is that in the presidential system that we copy, there's no opposition. But you need opposition to contest against the president. And if you need that, no matter whether it's a single party or opposition or coalition, it does not matter at all. But where the problem lies is this, is that among those names that you have mentioned, who is the person of integrity? If a former governor, 2 terms, can come to the newspaper and say, hey, the president says I should clean his table. And what did they make him? Chairman of UBEC. In fact, you should call it chairman of UBEC. I can't understand why we Nigerians allow that. None of those people from governors who are changing parties are doing it for the benefit of Nigerians. They are not. They are doing it for their own benefit. Primarily, they want to go for second term. Or if they finish their term, they are looking for political appointment either as ministers. Okay. Or end up in the Senate. And they know that they have to be aligned with whoever is going to win the president's election to be able to slot into any of these positions. And most of them love to become ministers. Most of them love to become ministers. So if they don't have anything to do, no matter how much money you have stolen, go to the Senate. You go to the Senate 3 times a week, the rest, whether you propose a bill, you don't propose a bill, whether you speak or you don't speak, nobody cares.
Interesting. As we begin to wrap up because of our time, I have 2 more questions to ask you. I remember that about 4 years ago, you attempted to set up a foundation to support honest candidates in Nigeria's politics. You know, and if I recall it very well, that didn't really get quite a bit of support. Do you want to talk to us about
Yes,
that?
It's about 4 or 5 years ago. I saw very clearly that there are many good people who want to contest election, but they have not stolen enough money, and Nigerians are not supporting them. So I wanted to challenge Nigerians who have enough money. If I win lottery today, I will put it into a foundation, and I'm hoping to win one very soon. That foundation will look for people who are honest, who can deliver, and who will stay honest in delivery. Okay. That person will support him with that money to win the election and to do what he's supposed to do. We will look at his character, not what he says, his character. And it's so easy to see. If you go to any community in Nigeria, people can point out somebody to you and say, this is a honest man. In any community in this country.
True.
People can point out somebody and say, this man, no matter what, that's what we are looking for. That foundation will now support that person, man or woman. The day we start to have the meeting in Abuja here, only one young lawyer and somebody, said I support you by email. What can we do? The young lawyer too has no money. He's struggling. So that's how we gave up this thing. Because we wanted to copy and adapt what we are doing in Indonesia. We saw the example of how the immediate past president became the mayor of Jakarta and later on the mayor of this thing.
And the president of Indonesia.
Yeah, Indonesia.
First mayor of Jakarta and then later president of the country.
In fact, that's why our local government system here is skewed. And that's why the governors are afraid. El-Rufai tried something in Kaduna State. The new governor scrapped it. What did he do? He saw that the system was skewed, so he decided to form Zaria Metropolitan Council. Like London or New York.
Okay.
And all those local governments become boroughs. Okay, or local development areas, but you have only one mayor. If that mayor does well, that mayor will become governor. Because he has delivered in a metropolitan area. And that's the issue with Lagos. So if you have a mayor for Lagos, or a mayor from Abuja, the mayor, if he's doing very well, can even become president. Because people tend to see the good work that that mayor is doing. Okay, but politicians are afraid of doing that. So they now have local government. For example, government said they are going to create 774 vocational schools. There are some local government, they won't get anybody to attend. They went and built a polytechnic in one area. They told the rector, come and defend your budget. How many students do you have? He said 200. And you have over 200 staff.
Oh, wow.
A polytechnic. And before the National Assembly, all sorts of funny things happen. I can tell you the story of University of Ibadan. They told the University of Ibadan from 1-2 years ago, came to the National Assembly, they said the bossa should call. Mr. Bossa, you have not audited your this thing for the past 2 or 3 years. The bossa, who is a scattered accountant, said the auditor died. They said, auditor, what is an auditor? Okay, it's like mosquitoes chopping. Funny one, the government appointed a lady to be the chairman of Nigerian Veterans Association.
Right.
This lady went before the National Assembly. They asked her, what is your educational qualification really? From what I was told, she was a corporal in the army. When there are generals and things like that, she was a corporal. And then they asked her, she said she went to one university in Benin Republic, only to discover that after finishing, that university is not recognized. They said, okay.
I saw that too.
What else did you do? He said, stop the certificate. Oh, Nigeria is a very interesting country, I'm telling you.
Wow. I actually saw that video myself too of the in the National Assembly of this lady.
Yes.
Who said she didn't know, that the school where she attended,
yes.
the Republic of Benin, was a scam.
So you then find out who are the people who sitting down to nominate these people and convincing the president to sign a letter to go to National Assembly about them. Is that a system? Is that a system? It is not good for the country, and you then want the country
to progress,
to compete, to compete with other countries of the world. You cannot, when your system right inside there is very skewed.
Final question.
And on the area of corruption,
okay,
we propose that there should be a civil law against corruption. So you have a criminal law.
Okay.
But if you have a civil law, like they have in Europe, what will happen is that you will not go to jail. You will pay, if somebody gives you a bribe,
right,
you pay the money back to the person that gives you a bribe with a commission, and then you are demoted. You don't go to jail within the civil service.
What's the use of that?
They don't want it.
But what's the use? Why shouldn't the person go to jail?
Now, the point is this, is that your jail will be full.
We're not even getting the conviction.
But if they know that they are going to return the money, they are going to be demoted, they will think twice.
They'll probably think twice. Very, very, very interesting one.
If for example, I go to Elumelu and Dangote and said, can you contribute some money to a foundation to make sure we elect honest people? They will just look at me. They will try to contribute money to a person who win election so that they can continue to do their business safely. And to a certain extent, that's how the capitalist system works. Okay. Which is not suitable for our country. Because if you look at the Nordic countries, you rarely find a homeless person. And you rarely find somebody who is so rich, 100 times or 1,000 times better than the poorest person in Sweden or Norway.
The gap is very narrow.
The gap is very narrow. And the system is designed in such a way that they have a social security system. There's a time they appointed a lady. In fact, ladies are not different from men now when it comes to stealing or looting. This lady was the chair of the Social Security Fund. This woman had about 40-something houses. Had money for foreign exchange. When they caught her, she disappeared overseas. She's back. FCC are not really the issue anymore. And there are so many people like that. What sort of system is that? A system of impunity. In fact, we have designed a system of what we call impunity index. So instead of anti-corruption index, you design a system of impunity index. Again, we can't find, ICPC refused to do it. So what do you want to do?
Thank you so much, General, for your very always frank and forthright views, about the state of the nation. And thank you for being a voice that challenges, some of the notions that we contend with. And thank you for being somebody also that is exploring, all kinds of ways to fix the system, even though you are much in your 80s and you still find a lot of energy for civic obligations. And thank you for coming to Inside Sources.
You see, well, like I said earlier, the biggest challenge in Nigeria is to be able to go to people and say this is the right way. But the other right way is what trickles down to them first. You see? And people believe that it's because they are poor. Nobody is poor in Nigeria. Nobody. I can challenge anybody.
Okay, we can have that conversation later because of our time. You know, we go now. Thank you so much for coming to Inside Sources.